Hey everybody, the Real Behemoth here, back in with another video for Heroes of History. Today we are going to jump into relics. So here are the current relics that I've got. I've got a couple of each of them. The Torch of Prometheus, it has a burn type of skill. The flames of the torch increase burn damage dealt by the holder by 12%. Whenever the holder deals non-recurring damage to an enemy unit, they have a 10% chance to apply burn, dealing 120% damage over 5 seconds. So that's at my current level of my torch, at Ascended 2, level 10. It adds a little bit of extra attack and a little bit of defense. So what am I recommending for each of these relics? So for torch, heroes that already have a burn type ability will make the torch significantly more effective and help you do more damage per second. So some of the main focus heroes for the torch, let's jump into that. So obviously we've got Means. Means is going to be a primary hero that most of us are going to be, hopefully at least, equipping torch on. He's already got a burn type ability. His ability pops off very quickly. He's going to be an excellent burn type torch user. Along with Means, we have over here, we've got Pythagoras. So Pythagoras will be another good torch candidate. And so actually I am going to equip one of these torches on him now and fix that. So Pythagoras also has a burn type ability. So on his ability, it doesn't say anything actually, but if you use his ability, you can see very clearly that he does have a burn along with him. Another one that will be very solid with torch is going to be Beethoven. So Beethoven ends up adding a burn at level 15 on his ability. So get his ability to level 15 and he will be solid with the torch. Additionally, along with Beethoven, we've got, where is he? He's going to be a little bit farther down here. We've got Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci is going to be one of the primary burn or torch relic candidates. He does also have a burn type ability, so this is going to make him somewhat useful actually. Whereas beforehand, prior to the relic update, I don't imagine that many of us actually used him. I know a couple of people at the top use him very rarely. I see a couple of people use him in arena pretty consistently, but he is going to be another primary focus hero for the Torch of Prometheus. Now, who else aside from these three heroes are going to be candidates for the Torch of Prometheus? Well, very obviously, we've got Mulan. So anybody with Mulan knows she deals really decent AoE damage and burn damage. I'm really hoping to pull her very soon. I'm approaching my China 5-star guaranteed pull, so it'll either be between her or Sun Tzu, but I'm really hoping to snag her so I can throw the torch on her. She's going to be a very, very solid damage dealing torch user, so definitely recommend you throw a torch if you have multiple on Mulan. Along with Mulan, we've got Marie. Marie is, honestly, in my personal opinion, she's becoming one of my favorite heroes in the game. I don't even have her, but just watching some of the gameplay from some of my friends and from some of the other players that play the game, she is becoming exceedingly strong. So with her poison, with her bleed, etc., I think that adding a little bit of a burn with her will be very solid. I'm really excited to test that out. Another one along with that could be, honestly, Caesar, right? So Caesar could be an additional one. Of course, he has a small burn, and so his burn damage isn't solid, but if you don't have a lot of burn type heroes, he could be of use there. So moving on to the other relics, we've got the Achilles Standard. So the Achilles Standard, whenever the holder lands a critical hit, their critical strike chance is increased by 1.5% for 10 seconds. So at a higher level, we've got 7% for 10 seconds, and it'll increase just slightly more as well once I transcend that one more time and max that out. So what is the Achilles Standard? What are we looking at? So I would recommend that each of you look at your Hero Awakens and Info Stats page. Most heroes have a 5% base crit chance. Those with higher crit chances from Awakens will do significantly better with this relic. You can also use your buffers that buff crit chance like Queen Elizabeth, Ramses, and Mansa Musa. Pairing Aquila with high crit chance users can also get crit damage buffs with buffers like Queen Elizabeth, Ramses, Margaret, and Mansa Musa. So what are our main focus heroes for the Achilles Standard? Well, very obviously, we've got Kin. So a lot of people are going to make the mistake of throwing the torch on Kin, but he deals recurring damage. So based off of what I've tested, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me 100%, but based on what I tested, the torch works on his basic attacks, but not on his flying sword. However, the Achilles Standard works on his flying sword as well. So when he ends up popping off and getting a crit, I just see crit with him. He goes ham. And if you look at his stats here, his crit chance is at 25% and his crit damage is at 150%. So he's going to be a very solid Achilles Standard focus hero. I recommend that everybody throws their first one on him. Some others that we're going to be looking at for the Achilles Standard, actually, Napoleon. So although Napoleon doesn't have a high crit chance, if you pair him up with a buffer, he deals insane damage. So, I mean, I've seen his damage as high as 100k plus, right? So, and I know that there was another one of my Alliance members who hit 120 or 130k damage in a single battle with him. So Napoleon can use multiple relics. He can excel with multiple relics, but the Achilles Standard is definitely one of his top relics, I would say. Another one for the Achilles Standard would be Vlad Dracula. Vlad Dracula would be a very, very nice hero to throw the Achilles Standard on. Mulan, if you do not have an additional torch, if let's say you're using it on means and you wanted to throw another relic on, and she's one of your top heroes, the Achilles Standard will do very, very well with her. Lagertha is another one. We've got Achilles, and then some of the others. I'm going to go ahead and filter this by stars here. Some of the others would be Lancelot. We've got Hercules as well. Hercules with the Achilles Standard, if you look at his, some of his Awakens, he's got a crit chance at Awaken 4. And so really that's where you're going to find him excelling with the Standard. But he does do very, very solid damage. So if you're pairing him with a crit chance buffer, he's going to do very well for you. Along with them, going into 4 stars, we have Van Gogh. Van Gogh is going to be another one with a very high crit chance at 25%. We have Edison, obviously. If I'm being completely honest, my top 2 in terms of 4 stars that I would put this relic on would be Kin and Edison. They are very quick. They deal a ton of damage, and most of us use them. So those are a few of my recommendations, and a couple of others would be Tomo. We've got Beethoven. We have Boudica even. Boudica has a high crit chance. We have Spartacus. Spartacus is another good crit, and he's got actually a crit type of ability as well. So he increases his crit chance in his ability. So there's another good option. We have Van Helsing. We've got Pythagoras. Where is Pythagoras here? He's going to be a little lower, actually. We got Pythagoras. And then moving on to some of the lower tiered, in my personal opinion, 3 stars, we've got Ada Lovelace and Marco Polo. Those are going to be the main focus heroes for this relic. So, in my personal opinion, everyone's going to talk about the torch, but the Achilles Standard is really going to be the difference maker in terms of relics as of right now. All right, so jumping into the Abacus. So where is the Abacus here? So the Abacus, while the holder is above 80% health, their evasion is increased by 7%. That's at Transcend level 4 and Relic level 10. So you want to pair this relic to heroes that are likely to stay at higher HP levels or have an evasion type awakened skill. Currently in the game, there's only one hero with an evasion type awakened skill, and that is Napoleon. So Napoleon at Awakened 2 has 15% evasion added onto him. So that's going to make him very, very tanky, and that's going to make him a solid candidate for the Abacus relic. Self-healers and tanks paired with good healers will also benefit the most. Some of your self-healers are obviously going to include Hercules. We've got Hercules in there. We've got King Minos. There's another self-healer. We've got Attila. And where is Ulysses here? We've got Ulysses as well. Keep in mind, you can also pair these tanks up with accuracy debuffers. So some accuracy debuffers include Napoleon, Ben Franklin. We've got Plato here, and we've got Karl Marx as well. So accuracy debuffers are going to be a really solid pair. Another decent pair that many people probably will not think of is Cyrus the Great. Cyrus the Great and his evasion buff, 10% evasion buff to friendly units may also be a good pair with the Abacus relic. Cyrus the Great before, he wasn't fantastic, but now with this relic introduction, he's okay. And so he has a little bit of a use case. So some of the Abacus main focus heroes, in my personal opinion, are going to be Hercules. And this is going to be Hercules at a higher ability level. So if you look at his ability level 40, he heals himself for 1,680% of his base damage. Now, if you compare that to Minos and Minos's heal is 385% of his base damage. So that's a significant difference. It's a 4x plus, right? So that's going to be a big difference. So that would be one of my recommendations for the Abacus. The other would be Napoleon, specifically Napoleon at ability 2, as we previously mentioned. King Minos is currently my favorite in terms of the Abacus usage. If you pair him up with somebody like Hatshepsut in Arena, you're going to see him evade a ton of attacks. And then obviously, like I mentioned, Attila, Ulysses, and actually another one, in my personal opinion, would also be Herman. So that is what I believe for the Abacus. So those are what my focuses would look like. So the Cornucopia. So let's jump into the Cornucopia. At the start of the wave, the holder gains 140% of their base damage as a shield. This is at Transcend level 4 and Relic level 10. So the Cornucopia's main use is just to give your heroes that extra small bit of health to survive that one extra hit by providing them a small shield. The shield won't be as crucial as some of the other relics, but can provide that game-winning piece of health that you need. You want these on your healers and on your tanks that don't self-heal, or heroes that don't stay up long. Glass cannons, support heroes, buffer and debuffers, etc. Some of these may include William Wallace. So in my opinion, he dies very easily, at least for me. And that's at Awakened level 3, ability level 32, and level 80. Joan of Arc is another candidate for the Cornucopia. We've got Abe Lincoln. George Washington would be another one. And in my opinion, this is when he's not paired with Tiger Lily. A couple others would be maybe Lancelot, Achilles, Amelia, Tiger Lily, Hatshepsut, Ashaka, Otto, heroes like that. So I would primarily suggest that you throw on your Torch, your Aquila, and your Abacus up first, and then you kind of just throw on the Cornucopia wherever slots do not have a relic for an extra little buff. So I hope this video is helpful to a few of you guys. Again, quick note, everyone is really going to be pushing for the Torch. The Torch is the game changer, yada, yada, yada. I really do believe it's the Achilles Standard. the Achilles Standard pushing these primary damage dealers damage up as significantly as it does is really going to change the game. I can't wait to see what the game comes out with in terms of more relics. We're definitely likely to see more down the line, just simply because these are set to specific hero types, area attackers, specific to the torch. So I'm really curious to see what they add for someone like a manipulator or a single striker, or a supporter. That'll be really interesting to see what comes down the line. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more. I will catch you in the next one.